What's going on, and welcome back to another adventure. As you can see behind me, we already have the pull-out bed in. I didn't record this part of the build because I already have 2 videos on my channel that take you step by step on how I designed this bed. Go ahead and go back to those videos. They're in the Adventure Van Build Series playlist. They're very thorough, they're easy to follow, and I probably add too much detail, so go ahead, watch those if you are interested in how to build a pull-out slat bed just like this one behind me. So far in this build series, we have the framing, the insulation, the walls in, the vinyl floors, the bed in, and now it's time to build our dinette kitchen space. The owners of this van decided to go very bare bones and simple with this build, and I completely agree with them. What we're going to have is a 6-foot counter space with cabinetry underneath. It's going to be able to hold some light camping storage like hammocks, pots and pans, a kitchen stove, any of those necessities. So the rest of this build will go something like this. We'll have our 6-foot counter space right here with cabinetry underneath. We'll have one overhead storage unit along this way. We have the pull-out bed, and then we are going to build some type of tabletop right here as like a bedside storage, as well as some shelving that go along this wall. So anything that you see that doesn't have vinyl flooring or cedar planks will be covered up very soon. The idea behind my van builds is I try to stay as budget friendly as possible. Not everybody has the funds for a crazy built out sprinter with a walk-in closet and a waterfall shower and an infinity pool. You know, we don't all have the funds for that. So my camper van builds are campers. It's for taking them out into the wilderness, having a comfy place to sleep, having some type of counter space to cook, having storage to keep your camping supplies and hammocks and whatever that may be. So that's my philosophy. I'd like to show the average consumer how you can get out into the wild and have an amazing time. So let's go ahead and get started on this little kitchenette counter space. Essentially how we are getting started with this countertop is I have this 1 by 12 by 6 feet, and I'm just kind of holding it up where I want it. And then I'm using a pencil and I'm just kind of freehand tracing out the curvature of this wall right here. And I'm gonna slowly trace, cut a little bit, slowly trace, cut a little bit. You could use a piece of cardboard and, you know, use that and trace that onto here. That's another method you could use, but I think this will work just fine. So now that we got the countertop trimmed up with a little bit of a curvature, we're gonna mount this 2x2 directly to the framing that we have in the wall here. And what that'll allow us to do is mount the countertop actually into the framing, and it'll be really sturdy, and it'll give us the base for our box that we'll build for the cabinet. And notice how this just will kind of sit right on top of here. We have the corners framed up for the most part. We'll put some cross beams in there for some extra structure. Then we're gonna have this nice long pine countertop, 6 feet long. And we're gonna frame out this edge. And then we'll put a cross beam across the middle of these two. And then maybe one into the center and make 2 cabinet spaces, or we'll kind of see what will be best for this. And then we'll have one overhead cabinet up here. So we've been working on this all afternoon. We got the countertop in, the framing super sturdy. We also sanded this piece of pine and used some poly to protect it. Overall, it came out really nice. It's very long. It's 6 feet long, so it matches the bed perfectly. This van has a ton of headroom. You can sit up perfectly straight in here and not hit your head on the ceiling. So I think once this build's going to be done, it's going to be really roomy, which is pretty nice. And what I really like about my design is it really resembles a couch in like a living space. When people build out just a huge platform in the rear end of the van, it doesn't really have that livability, that open platform. With the bed pulled in into couch mode and with the countertop the way that it is, You're going to be able to slide mountain bikes in here, carry pieces of plywood. The van's going to be super versatile, and it's not going to be just for sleeping. You're going to be able to work with it. So we're going to mount this to the dinette, and then we're going to put hinges on the bottom and attach our door. So we mounted the face on the cabinet, and it looks really nice and clean. This is just 1/2-inch plywood, extremely cheap, extremely easy to work with. And that's the point of this build, to show you that you don't need to buy super expensive materials to have a somewhat decent result. On hinges, nice little addition of a walnut handle. And yeah, the materials for this are super cheap, and it came out looking halfway decent, so I'm happy with it. So I had this extra white plastic that I'm gonna line in this corner, and this is going to be the backside of our shelf. And then I think I'm gonna build this shelf with some offcut pieces. I could attach it to this plywood some way, somehow. Yeah, just kind of use what we have. I went ahead and put a cedar plank to match the wall and the backsplash right behind it, and it'll serve for light storage. So what we're doing now is building out the framing for the piece of furniture that's going to go all the way to the ceiling. So you could pretty much fit 9 feet of storage under the bed that will lead into this cabinet. And then you're gonna be able to access your underbed storage from here as well. I figured you've seen me cut and drill plenty in this build series already, so I'm just gonna give you short step-by-step updates on kind of the project that I'm working on until this build is complete, and we're getting close to it. So I've decided right behind the seat is going to be wall to ceiling storage shelves. And then right here is going to be a level countertop with this countertop. This way, if somebody that's camping is sitting here, they have a place to set things there. And here, it'll also act as a bedside table, as well as a headboard if you decided to put your head there. So it's going to be 2 sections. This is going to be closed off from the underbed storage, and it's going to be just a shelving unit. And then right here is going to be another countertop surface with a door that you can open to access underbed storage. So we're nearing the last parts of this build. We're going to be building a tabletop right here so you can have an armrest while you're sitting on the couch. And this is also going to act as storage underneath. So there's going to be some type of door right here you can open up and throw any type of storage you need down here. So this is week 3 of the build. We are continuing on with the furniture of the interior. And essentially we need to just finish building everything we want on the interior. And then we're just going to go around and do some small trim work. For example, we'll hide this seam right here. Hide any of the subfloor, that kind of thing. So I originally challenged myself to build this out in 3 weeks, and I think I nailed it right here. This is a simple build, more of a bare bones style, which is a great representation to you on YouTube, because you can see that you don't need $100,000 to build out a Sprinter to go hit the road and enjoy travel. So I think this build will come close to around $1,000, which is incredible. You're going to be able to sleep 2 full-size adults and have an incredible amount of storage. So that's what we focused on with this build. We wanted it to look really clean, we wanted to have a lot of storage, and we wanted to get it done efficiently and quickly. So as we take a look around, we have the pull-out slat bed, and this is going to have a memory foam mattress. It's going to act as a couch as well as a full-size bed. We have this storage cabinet right here with the pine countertop and custom little walnut handle, nice door, and you could store pots and pans, cookware, anything like that under there. We do have this door on the bed, so there's underbed storage. We have this sweet little top shelf right here, and the end caps are actually pieces of scrap from a charcuterie board that I made. We have strips of walnut and oak in here. It looks really nice. And then right in the doorway, we have this cabinet set up. Right here, I was thinking this could be a great place for water storage if you want to. We'll also put a door on here. Yeah, so you could throw a huge 7-gallon water jug in there. And I want to make this a good base, but also customizable. So if anybody in the future wanted to put, let's say, a sink in this corner, you could drill a hole in the countertop that I'm going to put and put a sink bowl and then have your water storage underneath. So for this tabletop, I'd like to be pretty resourceful, and I'm going to use the scraps from the framing of the van as well as the slats from the pull-out bed. So what we're going to do is just kind of get some type of pattern going like this, and then we'll need to form it to this piece of plywood, and then we'll just sand it down to one even plane, kind of like a butcher block.
So you've made it to the very end of this build series. I just want to start off by saying thank you, and if you haven't seen the rest of the videos of this build series, go ahead and start from the very beginning and watch me build out this van step by step in about 3 weeks for under $1,000. Thank you to Vans and Stuff for giving me this van to build out for you guys. It was an incredibly fun process, and I hope we could do it again sometime in the future. As for the build, I think it came out looking super clean. It's incredibly simple while maintaining that log cabin style. This is going to allow the lucky owner to just get out into the wilderness, do some traveling, and just seize that next adventure that they have on the horizon. If you have any questions about this build, feel free to throw them down in the comments and I will get back to you as quick as I can. I love answering YouTube comments, so yeah, feel free to ask away. Make sure that you like this video and make sure to subscribe. We are almost at 500 subscribers when I drop this video, and the goal for 2022 is 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead, subscribe, like this video, throw your questions down in the comments, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.